Hi there, I'm Nikki Butler and I'm a scar specialist. I really wanted to make this video to talk about self-injury scars. So this is an area that I really specialise in, and I've helped hundreds of clients over the years with their scarring. You may or may not know, but the 1st of March is International Self-Injury Awareness Day. And something that I really feel very passionate about changing is the perception of self-injury. And I've had many conversations with both clients that have self-injury scars and have been through that journey, and also with parents where they have children that are going through that as well. And I think what I'd invite you to think about is your perception of self-injury. So when you see somebody with scars, that's a very obvious sign that somebody has perhaps been through some challenging times or some mental health issues. But that's one form of self-injury, and there are many others where you don't necessarily have visible signs. So I'm going to give you some examples. Some of the perhaps more obvious ones would be alcohol and drug abuse. That's another form of self-injury. But also things like disordered eating. So different potentially from having an eating disorder, but sometimes when we're going through difficult times, finding something that we can control and influence can be a way of dealing with difficult emotions and feeling as though we have some control over our lives. So disordered eating, where perhaps someone is using food as a form of punishment. So that might be that they're withholding or restricting, or it could be that they're binging with food and have some unhealthy rules and habits around food, can be a form of self-injury. Now, something I hadn't really considered myself, and it's something that I have done over the years without realising. For me, it's exercise. So when I find I'm in a very difficult place emotionally, I exercise, but not just to the point of that being like a positive influence in my life. It was about over exercising, and often over exercising to the point of causing harm and injury to my body. And it wasn't until I was talking with a psychiatrist one day, and they challenged me on that and said, you're causing injury to your body. And it really made me stop and look at that. I'm very lucky. I get to work alongside and with some very experienced psychiatrists, psychologists, EMDR specialists, trauma specialists with the line of work that I do. And I've had some really interesting conversations with them around what they would actually qualify as self-injury. And some that might be less obvious to you would be a psychiatrist that I was talking with mentioned a client that they had that would withhold going to the toilet until she had achieved a certain task or had done something that she believed meant she was then worthy of allowing herself to go to toilet. What she was doing is she was creating multiple urinary tract infections. She was really suffering as a result of those restrictions and rules that she'd put in place. And without realising it, it was a form of self-injury. So I think I would really like to challenge you to think differently and maybe have a different perspective. And if you see self-injury scars on somebody, to stop and think about all of the different ways that many of us will turn to different behaviours when we're in an emotionally challenging place. I hope you found this insightful. I hope that you found it interesting. Over the years, it's really changed my perspective. And I absolutely love working with my self-injury scar clients. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, the bravest clients that I have the privilege of working with. So maybe take a little bit of time to reflect on this video, and I'd invite you to think about self-injury in a different way and from a real place of kindness and compassion. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.